Good morning or good afternoon, depending on which time zone you're in. As you can see on your screen, there's going to be an introduction and welcome from myself, very briefly. Then you can see the items that we will be going through. I don't need to read them out, as you can happily see them. And to remind everybody that this session is being recorded so that people who are unable to make it to the live time can view it later, and also that we produce accurate minutes of this session. To make a start, this launch of the European Journal of Cultural Management and Policy, EJCMP, I hope we stop using the acronyms fairly soon and call it just simply the journal. And today marks the transition to a new editorial and publishing system in the hands of an open access publisher, Frontiers, who we'll be hearing from in just a minute. As you can see, that's item 1 with Rebecca Smith. Why is this journal important? Well, there are at least 3, probably more, areas of importance. The first one is it's important for universities in scholarship and research, contributing to knowledge development and the international debate on cultural management and policy. And ENCAT is forever widening and broadening its impact around the world, and also broadening that debate. The focus of the new publication will be multidisciplinary and in the field of connecting theory and practice across the creative and cultural sectors. So the key message here is that it's very much going to be multidisciplinary. Some may call that interdisciplinary, but it sets a new direction for us. Another reason for it being important is that it's important for the arts management and creative industry at a policy level and in practice. I think those who work in the industry and many of those in academia, increasingly we focus on our narrow world, but potentially just one article in the journal may change our direction and make us realize that we're part of a bigger picture, where there are actually many people with similar ideas, or hopefully with ideas we disagree with, and hence have a useful debate. I hope the journal will challenge our current thinking and lead in new directions. That's one of its key purposes. And importantly, the third important area for our network, which includes many industry organizations. And as we begin to develop a common agenda with them, this may be the focus for bringing together universities and institutes in a form of open dialogue with the profession, with the industry. And I think the other factor that's part of this is that this access is very important. It's open access, both ethically and ideology, in both ethics and ideology, and reflects very strongly the mission of ENCAT. So it's a very good meeting of 2 organizations that think or share values. They may also think in a similar way, but they certainly share their values. We hope that the journal articles strive for the highest quality, and thanks to a genuinely collaborative interaction between authors, editors, and reviewers. Each article goes through a rigorous double-blind peer review process, which is highly valued in academe, but also ensures the quality of every piece of work. The journal is overseen by an international editorial board and an advisory board of leading academics, headed by the editor-in-chief, Dr. Eleanor Borin. The editorial and advisory boards of the journal are comprised of some of the most globally recognized experts in the field, and they contribute to the development of the editorial process of the journal, safeguarding its quality and ensuring that it meets the highest academic standards. Therefore, all I would finish by saying is that we can move into a new era with the journal in absolute confidence of all of those impacts and particularly its quality. Thank you very much. I'd now like to welcome Rebecca Smith from Frontiers to take over.
Thank you, Gerald. Frontiers is excited to partner with the European Network on Cultural Management and Policy and to welcome the excellent European Journal of Cultural Management and Policy to our Gold Open Access publishing platform. Next. At Frontiers, we demonstrate the power of research that is open for all of our global reach and recognition. We are currently the third most cited publisher, and Frontiers articles have been viewed and downloaded more than 1.4 billion times and achieved over 3.8 million citations. And we look forward to helping ENCATC authors to achieve this global recognition as well. Next. So as you touched on, Gerald, there are many benefits to open access. I'll just go through a few of them now. But first and foremost is definitely increased visibility. So the publications are freely available to everyone so they can reach a wider audience than publications behind a paywall. This increased visibility can lead to higher citation rates, as I mentioned, and greater impact for the author's work. Possibly more ethically important is the greater accessibility. So the research can now be read by researchers, policymakers, and the general public, regardless of their financial or institutional affiliations. And this accessibility helps to democratize the research process, making knowledge more widely available to those who do not have access to the expensive journal subscriptions. It also benefits from faster publication, with articles appearing with continuous online publication rather than waiting for issues. And it also complies with funder requirements, which are increasing more and more every day. Next. Importantly, for some of the authors attending today, they'll be happy to hear that open access articles do achieve more citations across all publishers, as can be seen in this graph. Next. So some of the big changes moving to a gold open access publisher like Frontiers is that authors' research is much more easy to disseminate, and they're able to track the impact of their articles very easily. So each article gets its own website page where authors can see how many views and downloads they're getting on a daily basis. And they can also easily share their articles on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and as well as sharing a link. Next, thank you. We also have a very intuitive digital editorial office. So this is a platform that was developed by Frontiers to enhance the quality of peer review and scientific publishing. This platform allows reviewers to discuss and collaborate on the manuscripts, providing constructive feedback and insights to improve the manuscript. The Frontiers Review Forum aims to reduce bias in peer review and improve the overall quality of scientific publications by fostering a more collaborative and inclusive approach to reviewing. Overall, the Frontiers Review Forum, is a valuable tool for researchers, reviewers, and for ENCAT alike. So as you can see here, it's very clear what stage the manuscript is at. The authors, reviewers, and editors can click on the little mail icon to email each other anonymously. And they can also clearly see if any actions are required, so no one is confused about at what stage the process is at. Next. Frontiers is also very proud of the institutional agreements that we have. So we have over 625 agreements with institutions around the world, which means that authors from these institutions can publish either for free or at a discounted rate. And all of this information is easily accessible on our website. We've also pioneered national consortia deals to make open access the new normal for authors. Thank you.
So thank you Thank you, Rebecca.
Then I'll pass it over to Elena. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Rebecca, for illustrating us all the different opportunities that the open access publishing with Frontiers is giving to our journal. It's with great pleasure, really, that I participate in this new adventure by our network, by being the interim editor-in-chief of this journal. So as you know, the ENCATC Journal, the previous ENCATC Journal, now the European Journal of Cultural Management and Policy, it's a publication that we launched already in 2011. So it's more than 10 years that we are working on this publication, trying to reach academic and scientific excellence, and the quality of our journal is increasing day by day. So it was a long path, 10 years, during which we had the pleasure to host many of the most important and renowned authors in the field of cultural policy and management. So the way we decided to develop this publication was related to the fact that we wanted it to become a broader publication. And we wanted to offer, to increase the services we can offer to authors publishing in our journal. So our collaboration with Frontiers is therefore to be interpreted in this way, as a way to improve the quality of our publication services and improve the dissemination possibilities that we can offer to our authors. We also interpreted this moment, so this moment of transition, of change to the open access publishing, as a moment of renewal for our journal. Renewal that is related mainly to the contents and to the approach that we want to promote with our publication. So what do we want to achieve through this new change, this transition to the open access model? First of all, we want to create more possibility of dialogues. So the presence in the scientific arena of cultural policy and management should not be interpreted as an island, but should be interpreted in its links with the different other economic and social sectors, therefore also the economic and social sciences disciplines that are already operating in their own field. So the transition that we are making is also a transition from a disciplinary perspective to a multidisciplinary perspective that will allow to link us, to link the cultural and creative sector, to link our network with a broader debate on the development of society in terms of economy, in terms of sustainability, in terms of digital technologies, and all the most important issues that are under our eyes in our contemporary society. So this is something that we are working on a lot, also including different perspectives in our editorial and advisory boards. And the second point on which we would like to work, which we are working and that we are trying to promote through our journal, is the connection between theory and practice. So as Gerald said, and it is in our DNA, it's a characteristic of our network, we are interpreting ourselves as a platform for connecting theoretical discussion and practice professional discussion. So facilitating the collaboration between researchers and practitioners is one of the main objectives of our journal. And we have designed the editorial line, but also the type of articles that can be included in the journal to match this need, which is also representing us as a network. So this continuous dialogue between researchers, professionals, academics, coming from different backgrounds, coming from different disciplines and presenting different perspectives, different points of view, will be the characteristics of our journal from now on, and of course, linking it with all the different activities of our network. Next. So as I was saying, we have devised several strategies to meet this need, to meet these ambitious objectives that we have with the journal. So the first way to meet this objective of dialogue, of multidisciplinarity, of mix between theory and practice is represented in our editorial and advisory board. So this is, in this slide, you can find the composition of our editorial board, which is the board who really works on devising the strategy, the mission, the vision of our journal and implementing it also in practice. So as you can see, we have an editorial board which is really diverse. It's diverse in terms of geographical location. We have people coming from Belgium, Spain, Italy, the UK, Serbia, Germany, and France. So very diverse composition of our editorial board. But we also have a mixture of people who are researchers, who are professional in the educational field, but who are also professional working in the practice, in the practical implementation of cultural management and cultural policy. We have people working for the European Cultural Foundation, or working for the KIC, the new KIC in CCIS, which was launched last year. So the idea is that this dialogue, this diversity of the editorial board could contribute to increase the dialogue between practice and scientific reflection, and could offer more ideas to be implemented then in our journal. So next. And of course, this perspective is also visible in our advisory board. So as you can see, the advisory board is even broader in terms of geographical scope. We have people from Asia, namely Korea, Taiwan, Japan, but we are also hosting people from Latin America, such as Mexico or Colombia, or from the United States. We have composition of leading researchers and leading practitioners from the northern and southern parts of Europe. And the idea is that really we can represent this diversity and they use it as a lever for creating a different approach that we want to promote through our journal. So what we hope with this diversity, with this mixture of different backgrounds in geographical terms, but also in experience, professional, academic terms, is that we can increase also the connection that we can create with the different sectors inside the cultural and creative sector, and also with other sectors of the economy. This, of course, to offer further benefits to our authors, to our researchers, and to all the contribution that we are publishing in the journal. This is also matching the idea that we are benefiting now from a platform, which is the platform by Frontiers, which is not only specialized in one field, but is a cross-cutting and multidisciplinary platform. So if we can reach a broader visibility and we can guarantee a different visibility across the different scientific domains, multidisciplinary, also to the authors that are publishing in our journal. And that, of course, can benefit not only dissemination, but also the citation of the different articles that we publish. This is our objective in the long term, but next slide. But of course, we are already seeing the benefits. We are already seeing the results of this strategy, of this transition to the open access format with Frontiers. In particular, I would like to point out that our visibility, our impact is already higher than the impact we had in the previous years. This is a very limited statistic, of course, because we have a very limited period for carrying out these statistics. We transitioned to the open access model, we transitioned to the Frontiers platform just 3 months ago, so we can talk about this 3 months period. But we can already notice that in the previous format, we were able to have an annual average of 1,200 views and downloads, of course, per year. And instead, in just 3 months of open access publication, our article were able to reach a total of 4,350 views and downloads. So, as you can easily understand, this is an enormous change, a big shift that will result, that can impact, of course, in the citations. We are all interested in citations, in the dissemination of our research, and also, I think, of our approach to cultural management and policy, which is, as I said, multidisciplinary, cross-cutting research, and based on the dialogue between practice and academics. Next. And then, of course, the idea is that through Frontiers, we can also benefit from a more developed social media coverage, and that will guarantee also to reach the different type of audiences that we were not able to reach in our previous format. Just as another brief statistic, a brief piece of information related to the promotion, we are offering a double promotion line, one related to the ENCAT, of course, outreach possibilities, and one related to the Frontiers dissemination capacity. So, for example, again, since January 2023, there were already 50 dedicated posts for just a very limited number of articles, which were the 10 articles published so far. And we were able to reach an audience of 18,000 followers. This is, of course, being enacted alongside our traditional promotion outlets, such as the ENCAT monthly newsletter, which was already offering us the possibility to reach all the subscribers, as well as all the members and, of course, people connected to the networks. Again, just in 2023, we were able to have to reach an audience of more than 10,000 subscribers. So as you can see, we are really working on disseminating our journal, on disseminating the research, because we believe in the impact we can make in the market, in the scientific, and also in the, of course, practice scenario. So I will just very briefly speak about the state of the art of our journal, and also the current issues on which we are working and that we hope we will announce in the next weeks and in the next months. So for the moment, as I said, we have worked on the different type of articles that are accepted and that are posted on our journal. The idea is that since we have this double DNA based on professionals and also academics, and also our objective is to increase the dialogue between practitioners and academics, we have tried to devise a series of different types of articles that will be able to meet these diverse needs. So we identified, and you can submit to our journal, 6 main types of articles. These are, of course, related to original research, to impact, we call them impact research, impact articles, policy brief, commentary, biography, and editorial articles. And now I will briefly introduce you to the contents of this type of articles, just to give you an overview of the variety of opportunities that we are offering to our authors. So the first type of article, first typology of articles is, of course, original research. These are, to some extent, the traditional research articles that we have hosted so far in the European Journal of Cultural Management and Policy. And it's basically unpublished study, unpublished research, either qualitative or quantitative or mixed research, which is based on original research carried out by the authors. This is the standard articles. So they have a word count between 5,000 and 10,000 words. And of course, they can contain no more than 15 figures. And they are structured to meet the publication request of academics working in different fields. Next. But we also designed a new typology of articles that are aiming to bridge the gap between scientific research and practice, facilitating the cooperation and the confrontation between academics and professionals. This is, of course, this type of design is aiming at stimulating the debate in our community, but also in the broader community of society and the economy. So this type of article is called impact research or impact articles, impact papers. And the idea is that they will analyze the impact of research on practice, or they can stimulate scientific reflection based on real-world experiences. So cultural management and policy related, of course, but also related to other sectors that are impacting and that are foreseen cultural management and policy background and skills. So the idea is that this type of articles will be co-authored, so by researchers and professionals, which is something which is already happening, of course, in terms of research, but we want to give them a specific space, a particular space. That means also more visibility, because, of course, they can be selected on a specific stage, also in terms of promotion. And these impact papers, of course, are all peer-reviewed, as all the other type of articles that we are proposing, but they are peer-reviewed by both practitioners and researchers. Again, because we want them to have a double check by practitioners' point of view and also by the researchers' point of view. Next. So alongside these two articles, we are also accepting the submission of articles in the category policy brief. So what do we mean by policy briefs? Policy briefs are articles that are basically short contributions that are related to policy issues or evidence-based analysis of policy-related issues. The idea is, again, to have a specific focus on policy and to have, again, a specific platform, a specific visibility to this type of articles. Next. Then we have other type of articles that are, again, accepted and aiming to represent the different type of contributions that our network members can provide. So the first one is a commentary, which is a sort of analysis of a recent work in the field of cultural management and policy. So it means like a commentary, a review of a book, of a report, or a policy paper, again, respecting these different typologies of policy and practice outputs that we can have. And it's important for us because they are reflecting on what is going on in the broader scientific and policy publication field. They are short peer-reviewed, again, because we want to provide a quick response to what is happening in the editorial market, in the policy market, etc. And they are short peer-reviewed, again, because we want to give the possibility to the authors of this commentary to give their opinion in real time. Next. Then we have the type of article called biographies. So the biography is, of course, a type of article which focuses on the academic or professional trajectories of leading thinkers, key people in the field of cultural management, in the field of cultural policy, that is aiming also to focus, to highlight their contribution to the advancement in the field. And this type of biography is, again, short peer review because we want to give a quick response to the pressing issues of society and to the trajectories of development of the thinking and policy actions in the field. And again, they are short articles which are, of course, encountering a double peer review, but short peer reviewed process. Next. And then, of course, a very traditional type of contribution, which is the editorials. Editorials, as in other journals, for editorials, we mean short essays that are expressing the author's viewpoint or explain the journal policies. They are usually related to a special issue, so they are related to one of the main topics we are working on. As editorial board, as editors, editor-in-chief, etc., but also as the topics proposed by our guest editors. So as you can see, we had really a broader variety of articles that you can submit, of contributions that can be submitted to the journals. Next slide. To the journal, again, because we want to respect what was said by myself, what was said by Gerald, what is the objective of our network. So to create a multidisciplinary approach to the cultural and creative sector, and I will say also a multidisciplinary approach to the society from the point of view of the cultural and creative sector. And again, to bridge theory, practice, to create links between the different disciplines. That's why we are devising a strategy that is including, alongside, of course, the general issues that we are publishing on a continuous basis. So every time an article is submitted, it immediately goes into a peer review process, and then as soon as it is accepted and ready, it is published. But alongside these general issues, we are also implementing a strategy based on a series of special issues that are addressing some of the most important and pressing topics, hot topics in the contemporary debate. So we are about to launch our first special issue. It will be probably presented in the next 2 weeks maximum, which is on the topic of ecosystem of hospitality. So it's a topic related, of course, to the tourism industry, which was heavily impacted by the COVID period, and which is undergoing a moment of transformation, transition, and reflection. So we really think that as cultural and creative sector academics and professional, we can have really a say in this ongoing debate. And we would like to host for your articles, your contributions related to this topic of the tourism development in terms of ecosystem of hospitality and the role the cultural and creative sector can play inside this framework. So for this ecosystem of hospitality, we have 4 guest editors, 2 guest editors coming from the entrepreneurship and tourism field from the University of Eichstätt-Ingolstadt, which are Professor Peklaner and Dr. Julian Philipp. And then, of course, we have 2 researchers or professors who are more expert in the cultural and creative industries, such as Lucia Marchezzani and Michela Marchiori. But there are other special issues that are in progress, proposed by our editorial board, but also proposed by external researchers, members of our network or not, such as a special issue which will be soon launched on the cultural and creative industries and cultural heritage entrepreneurship, interpreted also in relations to sustainability, in particular environmental sustainability, which will be a joint adventure, I will say, between our journal and the small business journal, published again and inserted in the Scopus and ARI Plus citation index. And then we will have another issue, which is still a work in progress on the cultural and creative industries, artificial intelligence, and digital innovation, and a series of other special issues that are in the meeting. Of course, we want to link with this journal with all the other activities that the ENCAT network is proposing, such as the Congress. We will have a special track related to the articles that have been submitted and presented during the Congress. We want to create other important links with our other research activities, such as the research interest clusters that have been created inside the ENCAT scientific communities. And of course, we have other activities to which we will link our publication, our journal. So, as I take just the occasion to thank again Gerald, our president, for supporting this new initiative, this transition to such an important publisher as Frontiers, but also to thank Frontiers, first of all, for being our partner in crime in this new moment of our journal, and of course our Secretary General and all the ENCAT staff who is helping us implementing in practice this initiative. Okay, so I think I will stop now, and I will give the floor to Giannalia for the debate and for our communication.
Thank you so much, Elena, for this very clear and informative presentation of the benefits of the journal, but also all the fantastic work that we have already started in the last months to already guarantee the publication of important special issue and articles. Of course, ENCAT is very committed to promote the circulation of research, the publication of outstanding funding. This is why we have decided to complete this official online launch of the journal with a special benefit for ENCAT members. We will cover half of the cost to publish the articles in the journal. In the next days, we will send invitations with the link to apply, and we will be assisted in this process by Frontiers. So I hope that you will appreciate this important contribution to our members, thus to encourage all of you to publish in the journal. The acceptance of articles will start from the first week of April till the 15th of June. So remain linked and tuned to ENCAT to learn how to benefit from this.